together, they discuss a very, very contemporary topic. Topics like climate change, the importance of living in perfect harmony with nature, without disturbing the external nature, without upsetting the inherent balance of the cosmic life. Not only living beings, but also the entire universe. How to live in perfect harmony with nature, and how that helps us to live with perfect harmony with our own mind. So these are some of the very important topics discussed here. So that idea, that particular philosophy of life, of living in close harmony with nature, is called the word yajna. So if you go to any dictionary, the word yajna is mentioned, Moni Williams or any of the well-known dictionaries, Sanskrit English dictionaries. You find yajna, its primary meaning is a kind of ritual. These are some of the rituals practiced in ancient India by the sages, the ancient Aryan tribes and societies in ancient India, right? Maybe 5000 BC, that's the conservative estimate. So they used to perform certain rituals which implied, on the one hand, perfect harmony with nature. On the other hand, perfect harmony in interhuman relationships. Not only harmony with nature and environment, but also harmony within. So that's the real meaning of yajna. So there are, of course, those who are interested, and this being recorded, so maybe of academic interest. The word yajna has got two very important definitions in the ancient linguistics, ancient Indian Sanskrit philology and linguistics. One is yajño vai seshtatamam karma. This is the first one, which means any kind of activity, not physical activity alone. Even a word we speak is an activity, a thought, an idea. All these activities, if done without a selfish motive, with a noble purpose in our mind, that activity becomes yajna. So it is a noble action because it is devoid of any selfish purpose behind. The other one is Devadodeshana Dravyesha Tyagaha Yajna. These are some of the etymological Sanskrit commentaries which explain the word yajna. It means you offer to gods, plural, it's the ancient Indian sages believed in some kind of a pantheism and monotheism combined. So they believe that the entire cosmos represents the interplay of some divine invisible beings behind. So above all these different divine beings, there is one spiritual reality called Brahman or Atman or consciousness, which is present everywhere, which is present in all of us. And we can realize this divine reality within us through the practice of ethical and spiritual values like unselfishness, compassion, and so on. Many of these ideas were later preached by Buddha in Prakrit language, which came to be known as the fundamental teachings of Buddha in the Pali canonical literature, with 4 noble truths and 8-fold path, which constitute Buddha's path to the highest enlightenment. So the 12th verse, if you look at the 12th verse, you find Yajñasishta sinasandu muchyande sarva kilbishaihi gunjade Te tu agham pabha e pachanti atmakaranat. The literal meaning is very simple. Those who eat and cook and live for themselves, those who produce food, wealth, necessities for comforts and luxurious life, and enjoy themselves without sharing with others, they are not eating food, they are eating sins. Is a metaphor. On the other hand, those who get things from nature but give a part of it back to nature, they will be liberated from sins. This is the literal translation. The literal translation may sound a bit simplistic. There is a profound philosophy behind it. When we take from nature, or when we take from cosmos all that we need without giving back anything to nature, it is called exploitation in modern language. So you can see the result. It disturbs the existing balance of life. And this discussion is carried on in the next verse also. So in a way, it creates a lot of problems, including climate change. See, we cut down trees, use the timber, or we construct a huge dam across the river, blocking the flow of water. We are actually disturbing the existing balance of nature. When you cut down trees, it affects rainfall, it leads to famine. And when you use modern pesticides or modern manure, then it affects the quality of food we eat, and as a result, our health, both mental and physical health, will be affected. And that leads to air pollution, environmental pollution, water pollution. So, our lifestyle, on the one hand, it becomes very disturbing in our own, at the internal level. We get disturbed. Our health fails when we eat bad food, when the climate is affected, when there is air pollution, water pollution. It disturbs our even internal life, physical life. It also disturbs the existing harmony and balance of cosmic life. So the ancient Vedic literature speaks about this unique principle. It's called a Ritm. Ritm literally means an existing harmony which is already there. It is already there in our physical system. It gets disturbed and we fall sick. And when that existing harmony, purity is disturbed, then nature also responds. It could be earthquake, it could be famine, it could be many other problems caused by deforestation, environmental pollution, human-induced climate change, and things like that. So, on the one hand, the rhythm implies the interrelatedness, internal harmony. On the other hand, it also implies the cosmic balance. So, but this balance can be preserved only when we practice restraint and unselfishness. Freedom from greed, freedom from desire to possess things. All these qualities are necessary for even keeping the cosmic life intact. So Lord Krishna says in the 12th verse that those who live to eat are eating poison. And those who eat to live are supporting the internal balance. We can deal with the act of eating only. Either we live to eat, which means extreme greed, exploit the entire cosmic nature just to make some few more extra dollars, make our life physically a little more comfortable. So they are living to eat. Those who eat to live, they have a higher philosophy, and food is nothing but something that is necessary for keeping our physical life intact. So this is the 14th verse. But in the beginning it says, from food all beings are created. Now what does it mean? All our physical bodies are essentially related to the kind of food we eat. And also our mind and character also can be influenced by the food that we eat. Because food also affects our mind, our emotions and feelings. And it also affects the way we speak. You can imagine what you drink or eat can influence the way you speak and walk. So well known. So it says the physical body is closely related to the kind of food that we eat. And then essentially, let's think of an age about 5,000 years back. Food comes from grains. And food grains, we get food grains because of rains. So that is Parjanyat Anna Sambhavah. Anna means food, matter. These are some of the meanings for the word Anna. Parjanya has got two meanings, a very profound meaning. One is rains. Second meaning is the subtle result of our actions. So many of these ideas can be properly understood only if you can get an idea of law of karma and the doctrine of reincarnation. The idea that what we do affects our life and also life outside of us. Nothing is isolated. Everything is connected through this cause-effect link. Nothing is without a cause. So whatever we do, whatever we speak, whatever actions we perform will on the one hand produce one visible, obvious result that we can see immediately and experience. Then there is another result which is not so clearly seen, is invisible. You had many of our experiences, if we closely analyze and think and contemplate, sit somewhere in a lonely place and think, you'll suddenly find the thread coming together. There is a cause-effect link. It's not that we interpret artificially with the help of this law of karma. That's only logical way of understanding certain events and experiences. Every experience has some cause, and that is some action and its result. So action and its effect. This cause-effect relationship. So here it is says, in our life, our physical body is the result or affected by the food that we eat. But our life itself is dependent upon certain actions we already do. Even our character, according to Vedanta, Yoga and Buddhism, or many of these ancient religious traditions, they believe that our present life can be explained. Especially there are certain events and experiences which defy our reasoning power. There are certain events and experiences that we can explain perhaps logically, but certain experiences that we cannot really explain. So Many of these ancient religious traditions believe that it's because of certain effects of karma actions that we may have performed in previous life or previously. So that is also another meaning of Parjanya. So here the verse tells you this physical body or life are related to food that we eat, and the food is a gift of rains, and rains again is a result of yajna. Yajna bhavati parjanyo. Parjanya can mean cloud also, yajna. What does it mean? Our activities, our actions, our respect for environment, our way of handling the phenomenal nature, that in a way affects the abundance or absence of rains. So we get from nature according to what we give to nature, or according to the way we deal with nature. Nature retaliates. It may be in the form of a big tsunami. It may be in the form of some terrible diseases. It may be in the form of some inexplicable new viruses, as frequently we read about. But there could be some cause somewhere behind. Some human mischief is always behind every kind of nature's retaliation. Nature is retaliating because it wants to give back to us according to what we have given it. If you keep the forest intact, the environment intact, the rivers and lakes and sky intact, pure and serene, then nature will also be compassionate. Otherwise, nature will react accordingly. That's why rain is here taken as a metaphor, a gift coming from nature. That's rains. And that is very important. Without these rains, human life is impossible. Food grains production will come to a halt. So the word rain should be taken as a metaphor for the gift of cosmic nature to us, for human welfare, for human happiness, for human survival.